5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, this is it. It's the Romello Marcellous Show. The fly uncle you always wish you had. Bring them out. Here to give you every aspect of game from a real player's perspective. It's the biggest boss from business, entertainment, love, and life.
Had to find my inner power.
To fashion, etiquette, and current events. Major show alert. All to enhance the happiness already inside you.
Today is about the power of you.
Check it out.
You're now rocking with the best.
Here I am, goddammit. Here I am. Welcome to the Romello Marcellous Show. I am he and he is me, and yeah, it is a beautiful day in Zamunda. You know, for all of you people out here that are putting in the work to be better used, you have to take account for some of the things that you do or don't do, and most of us won't do. But that is the way the cookie crumbles. And yeah, you'll lose a lot of people, and you'll maintain some folks. Usually those folks are the ones that have addictive natures or quirks in their personalities. So, without further ado, man, I want to jump right into this one. Talking about this. Are you the addict or the addiction is the question. The addict or the addiction is the question. And, you know, to jump right in there, we believe that most people, I guess, it is a majority thing that we all have the tendencies to become addicts to something. And, you know, people would profess to say, well, what is an addictive personality? There's an image that's often brought to mind when it comes to people who are addict to drug or addicted to drugs or alcohol. In popular culture, this image has become the subconscious image of the addictive personality. That is, the individual who is considered all but destined to develop a substance addiction. There are many different addictions. You know, you can have you can be addicted to money. You can be addicted to work. You can be addicted to abuse. You can be addicted to sex. You can be addicted to a lot of things. It's not a surprise then that people who are worried about developing an addiction to drugs or alcohol often try to find out what the traits of an addictive personality might be. They want to know what to watch for, either to absolve themselves of the addict label or to give themselves reason never to start using drugs or alcohol to begin with. However, the simple fact is the whole idea is based on a mix of truth and fiction. Okay? Yeah. The fiction is the concept of a specific addictive personality. In fact, most researchers in addiction today would caution against the idea of a single generic personality that is prone to addiction. An article in Scientific American verifies and offers evidence for the fact there is no one personality type that leads to addiction. In fact, some seemingly desperate traits can lead different people to become addicted to drugs or alcohol, depending on other factors. All right. While there are several different types of traits that can be recognized in individuals who develop substance use disorders, they're not all present in everyday person who becomes addicted. Therefore, the image that some people see of the socially outcast criminal is an inaccurate vision of the individual who becomes addicted to drugs or alcohol. So, you know, I wanted to touch on this in this kind of a different thing because I'm seeing a lot of it, and especially in the Black community where we are not truly versed on going to get help and therapy for some of the things that we battle with on a regular. So, yeah, I brought one of my elders on, my older brother actually, who is well versed in um, counseling. And hey, who better to bring in than an elder, someone who knows how to help folks. All right. And I'll bring him on now. It's my older brother, none other than Nigel. Welcome. Welcome to the Romello Marcellous Show. We're talking about the addict or the addiction. We're talking about traits of those who um, have the risks of becoming highly developed addicts. Welcome to the show.
Welcome. I mean, thanks for having me. Or whatever.
Or whatever. Yeah, it's good to have you here. My question would be to someone who was looking in or looking uh, outside or looking in to someone to say, hey, um, what things should we look for? What things can we do to help those that are around us that may have these addictions? You know, what things would happen or could happen in someone looking to explore their vices, um, and usually, I guess, to get people to move the way that they want them to move. Is there things we need to look for?
Well, the first thing is we can't um, make them move the way we want them to move. That's the first thing. We can't change them. We can't force them to move. But some of the things, I guess it depends on the setting. If it's in a household and there's a family, maybe one person is over drinking, or another person may be sneaking and doing narcotics. And if the family dynamic was a positive, calming type family with open communication, and it starts to shift, and all of that breaks down, and it's a dark cloud in your house, you notice something going on. So I may be a little giddy with this, so just know that I mean well. It's unless you do the research and really study up on it, a lot of times you really can't. No one is really qualified to point out another unless it's really if they're good at masking it. That's the thing about addiction. Most are really good at masking it. And I'm speaking on that. So a lot of times you really can't recognize it unless you, like I said, are well versed or have done some study. And but even those that mask it, over time, the threads start to come undone. And so those things, little subtle things, and sometimes it gets dramatic. But a lot of times, at that point, they're isolating, or they're using diversion tactics like deflection or anything. If you ask them, they're ready. They're at the ready with deflection and rationalization, minimization, and all that. But the best thing you can do. Well, they used to say back in the day that you can't help someone; they have to want to help themselves. If you're a parent and you suspect that your child is on it, and you've seen enough that you're convinced, you legally can help them whether they want to or not. You can get them into treatment. And nowadays that's big business, so they take all kinds of insurance, so you can get them into treatment, and in most cases it'll be covered. The part that holds true is that by you putting them in there, they didn't go on their own, so there's a chance that when they come out they're going to use again. Right. But the difference is they've been educated they have been, went through treatment. So when they go back out again, if they decide at some, and in a lot of cases, people get it at that first time.
Right.
But if they go back out again, it's worse.
Right.
And not only that, they're equipped with the knowledge, which is conscience, which is going to, browbeat them. Now, then it's up to them and the family to try to get them back into the rooms, or into, to get back to sobriety. So it's the addict and the addiction.
Mm-hmm.
It's one and two. The addict is protecting the addiction, and the behavior, and it's a lot to it, but I don't want to go too deep. I don't want to go too fast ahead of myself.
That's what the platform's for. We're here to take a deep dive.
Yeah. So in all reality, it's it's honesty. It's truthfulness, and that's what's lacking in the addict, or in the and in the enablers, because you'll have family, because just being deemed an addict or a substance abuser or alcoholic it has negative connotations, and in some cultures it's a sign of weakness in men.
Right.
And so the good old boys, I'll drink you under the table, all of that, I it puts hair on my chest. And stuff like that. But those type of that's a mindset, and it's
what would an action of manipulation, when someone's, I guess, seeking to make a situation about them, regardless of what the situation, to obtain their fix? I mean, what would that does that? I mean, I don't know how would that?
Well, it's with addiction, with the addictive personality. There's character defects, and one of the key ones is self-centeredness. So I guess if one of the ways that I can tell someone has an addictive personality or is on something is this self-centered nature, where everything revolves around them and they don't care about who cares. So that's the first thing. So they're going to be out. They want to be the life of the party, the star of the story. All of that. And at the same time, they're not reliable, and a lot of times it's fueled with the substance. But but the self-centeredness also does is it's me, mine. So I need to, and it makes me feel good. So they want to do is protect it. And if anybody's in their orbit, who decides, hey, you're drinking too much, or hey, you're you need to chill on the drugs, they'll quickly eliminate those people. They'll figure out a way, and the master manipulator will spin it and flip it and make it as if that person was the bad person. You know what I mean? And it's because they don't want it to be known what the real reason why they even cutting the person. Mm-hmm. And I'm yeah. So but the manipulation part is just all over the place. It's like tentacles. You have grandiose, big shotism, What else?
You're describing me, damn it.
Denial.
I ain't no
Denial.
Well, I ain't denying. I don't deny nothing. You know.
No denial. You just denied that. and lies, and more lies. So yeah, big shotism, grandiosity, always comparing out. These are all character defects.
I guess like if someone brings a problem to them, they'll say, "Well, shit, I was doing on the."
Yeah. Or no, they ain't. No, they bring the problem. Say, hey man, man, you use. I mean, you just like it. Oh no, not it. They smoke. How you said back in the day? You ain't alcoholic if you drinking with friends. But you drink at home by yourself, you're an alcoholic. That's comparing out. That's like, what the hell? So they try to. I mean, now the kids are split. They're rationalizing, saying, well, I don't smoke the marijuana, but I vape.
Right. It's all the same.
You're still a junkie at the end of the day because it's all junk. It's toxic junk. The body's just not accustomed to have it in it. But but that's food too, and everything else. But it's when you another sign is just totally obsessing over it, mismanaging your funds, your money, everything revolves around it. Always seeking to be up high and happy, and think that that's how life is supposed to be every day, every minute, and every second of the hour. We're humans. We have emotions. We have all kinds of emotions, and we're supposed to at any time experience those emotions. So part of the healing is that's another part of the healing is identifying our human emotions. Mm-hmm. So that when we're experiencing them, we know, oh, this is an emotion of joy. Mm-hmm. This is fear. And then you can manage your emotions. You can manage your expectations. You can manage your finances. You can manage your relationships. Mm-hmm. But you can't manage crap when you high drunk. When you're drunk and high, everything is kind of there's some things that's going to be unmanageable.
Right.
And the thing with the alcohol and the substances, that the addictive person, it gives them a euphoric sense that they're managing everything, and it also numbs the senses, so it kind of takes away from the drive to even want to deal with stuff that that could be challenging to the person, the mind, or.
Correct.
That may be that may give them fear of either failure.
So when you talk about one thing, you're talking about splitting.
Yeah, splitting is manipulation, and that happens. It's if you're a parent and you have children and you raise your children, you've seen it. Manipulation is part of our character defects. It's something we're born with. I mean, well, it comes up over time. But anyway, so it's like splitting. And this happens outside, but it also happens in the residential treatment programs and counselors and stuff. They pull people up on that and make them aware of it. And but it's like if you go to one person, if you want a vacation from your job, and you go to the day manager, and they say no. And then you go to the night manager and they say yes. And then you just don't tell the other one that you talked to the other one. You got your way. That's manipulation. And, and you like just get on gone on a vacation with the second manager's approval, unless the first manager and the second manager talk, and then they decide, oh, I already told that person no. Yeah, that's splitting. Yeah, but that's it's a liability, but it's also an asset. I mean, that's part of business. Mm-hmm. How people do business too. Well, but it's not cool.
I guess it is. I guess these are all applicable to any sort of vice, whether it's food, sex, money, um, even manipulation. I mean, I guess you have some narcissists that could have that double whammy as well, that they seek to control people or to fulfill their mental status. You dropped a jewel on me when you state that you were telling me about, our energies, and we're not made up of that energy. That energy doesn't drive us to control others. And it's like, remember the concert, you were saying, well, the artist can come and do a concert, and that euphoric energy that it receives from the audience is good for maybe, an hour and a half. And then after that, the hall's empty, and then you're packing up and getting on the bus to go, and boom, you drain. You're right back where you were.
Yeah, the narcissists. What it says is that they're always seeking admiration.
Mm-hmm.
They want external gratification. They instant gratification. It's like they need it to live, but like I say, it is fleeting. It's got to be troublesome. That's why in that situation, there is that's a mental illness.
Mm-hmm.
That's not an addiction, a substance abuse addiction. Excuse me. At least according to the article I just read, but I'm not. Disclaimer: I'm not a counselor, but I do have some experience in that field. So yeah, the thing about that, yeah, the energy. We're programmed to self-discover, self-evolve
Mm-hmm.
over the course of our lifetime in search of our purpose and everything. And if we're doing things, producing projects or up on the stage, performing, it feels good when you get the admiration, the applause, and all that,
The adulation,
and all of that. This is beautiful. But then you go on to the next. Now with a narcissist, it's a different agenda. It's likened to addiction. It's like a drug.
mm-hmm.
So, but that's something that has to be diagnosed by a professional. And not any old Joe Smo can just say, "Hey, you're a narcissist," and
Well, I do it all the damn time.
yeah, well, everybody's running their mouth all the time.
God damn it, I tell you. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, the junkies. I mean, I said it when people in denial,
Mm-hmm.
especially when it comes to celebrities, and celebrities, a lot of celebrities are junkies. They have means. Okay, they have access, and they gets it in, and no one could ever say that Whitney Houston. And I mean, people would fight you back when I recognized Whitney Houston was on that stuff when she did that concert in DC, and she came out, she had on all white, and that was on cable, and I said, she looked like she on it. And that was the first time I spotted it. And then from that moment on, years later, it's been up and down all around. But she ended up dying because of it. And this is where I'm talking about enablers. Enablers are just as worse as the disease of addiction itself, because you literally are enabling them to continue their self-destruction. That's what it is, self-destruction. And stuff. So shielding them, this, that, and the other. But it does kill, at the end of the day.
Speaking of Whitney, I guess people at the end of it was wondering why she was in LA by herself for days leading up to that event happening to her. But that's not for me to elaborate on here.
Yeah, well, she was probably with some people getting high. She had relapsed. Well, I don't know relapse, but I know she was in treatment, and it's And the thing about the disease of addiction, it's a powerful illness.
Yeah.
You know, it tears up homes, it takes lives, it does all of that. So it's not something to play around with.
Not at all.
It's really serious. And the most powerful piece is when the person finally surrenders
Mhm.
and honestly says to themselves and to another person, I can't do this anymore. I need to get help, and go get the help.
Right.
And the help is out there, because there are many, many millions of people walking around on this planet who have gotten the help and whose lives are wonderful without that, you know, without that crutch, because it's nothing but a crutch,
Mm-hmm.
a crutch and a band-aid.
Crushing a Band-Aid.
To mask the pain and the hurt. You know, mask the pain and the hurt.
I'm doing this, man, and this platform is just what it is for me to learn too. And I think that, a lot of people needed to hear this, or need to hear this. Wherever you are, man, you're not out here by yourself. And that's the worst feeling that you have, is to be alone. And I think that even in the midst of your addiction or your struggle with it, you should seek solace in others who want to help you.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, man, just keep pushing. There are plenty of resources out here for you to try and help yourself. If you need it, hey, here's the National Addiction Hotline. You can call them, and they're going to direct you to somewhere to help you on your way. I mean, but the first step is you have to recognize that you have a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Denial will keep you cold, hungry, and alone, and struggling with that. So, yeah, here's the number. And your call is confidential, and you can get the addiction help that you need, or the resources. They're out here. And I'm saying this because the holidays are coming, and a lot of other things that set in that incur or encourage the vices or the uses of addiction, meaning the holidays. There are people out here who have or feel they have no one else. And this is one of those times where depression does seep in. And can add to your further vice or abuse. But I want to thank you, bro. Thank you for coming on, man. And,
I just want to say one other thing before I go. Denial is it's like a vortex, and it's a mindset, and it'll keep you in this space, and the even though there's so many different things that happen in within the usage and all that stuff, the one thing that you lose that's the most valuable is time. So it'll keep you in this space for time until you can wake up out of it and get the help and realize, and then get recovered from the stuff.
Right.
And then once you awoke, you're going to deal with that part. You realize how much time you wasted in that vortex.
Right.
Because the mind, our minds are set to reset, but a lot of time, and that's with time. However, a lot of people don't get that, and they don't push the reset button, and they stay set in that space. And but we so reset. Look, do whatever you can to try to figure out how you can, reset your mind, because at any given time you're in a little vortex, a little vortex in time, but you can get out of it. You just gotta step back, think about, look and see where you're at. It's okay. This has to change, and then boom. So not to be running my mouth too much, but yeah. So so denial is definitely one of the enablers. But the most important thing is just be honest with yourself. Be honest with the ones you love. Give them feedback. Pull them up. Don't hesitate to let them know, and they need to get help. Do whatever you can to keep that up front with them, and because you could just be saving a life, because that's the most important thing, too. Save the life.
Well,
thank you for having me.
Yeah, truly a blessing. Yeah, you've covered a lot and a lot of good information, good jewels. And once again, if you need help and you're watching this, call this number and speak with someone there. They'll help you with whatever it is to get you on the right track, to help you, whether your addiction is gambling or whatever it is. It is something that's hindering your natural life force and your energies and your prosperity. And in so many different ways. Yep. I thank you once again for coming on. You're more than welcome to come anytime.
Yeah. All right. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Enjoy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Honesty is key. If you can't be honest with yourself, you can't be honest with anyone else. And your decision, it has to be the priority. The priority, whatever that is, meaning what you make your decision to gravitate to or to make a priority. If it's you, then you have to seek help. You have to be honest with yourself. That's the saying. Everybody wants to be honest, but nobody wants honesty. Stop denying yourself. I mean, you can say you want to get healing. It's just like going to the gym. You want to lose weight. You can go buy $1 million worth of weight, but if you're not willing to do the work, you're not going to lose the weight. You're not going to get healthy. So decide today. Whatever that advice is, whatever that addiction is, sit it in front of you and ask yourself, does that mean more than you? Whatever that is. If it means more to you, more than you, then pick it up and embrace it and crash on out here with it. But if you mean more than that, then walk away from it. Get you some help. Make the decision today. Even logging on to social media has become an addiction for so many people. They check in and check out, log in and log out of life. They're watching everyone else do the things that they think that they want to do, when in all actuality, being you is just enough. Screw watching other people's lives, man. I tell you, how can you watch other people's lives and you're living your own? Okay? Wow, it's like making money. You're watching somebody else make money, but you're not making any money. Something wrong with that picture. Get up. Get yourself out and get something. That means get your life. Take your life back. You don't have to have the addictions. You don't have to buy into what people are saying about you or about the things that you do. You don't have to. Okay? And all you're getting, get you some understanding. Get you some peace. Control your destiny as best you can, because trust me, there's forces at work and things at work all around you that are seeking to control you and keep you in a fog. So when you wake up, you're too old and decrepit to even do anything about it. And at that point in time, it's too late. So yeah, get your life. Get yourself together. All right? Love you. Love you. Have a great weekend. And as I always say, get the fuck off my life.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, this is it. It's the Romello Marcellous Show. The fly uncle you always wish you had.
Bring them out.
Here to give you every aspect of game from a real player's perspective. It's the biggest boss from business, entertainment, love, and life.
Had to find my inner power.
To fashion, etiquette, and current events.
Major show alert.
All to enhance the happiness already inside you.
Today is about the power of you.
Check it out.
You're now rocking with the best.